We've had Dr. Laura Chella with us before, and the last episode ended on a note where I was saying we do need to discuss the attack on homeopathy as a modality. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Why do you think there is an attack on homeopathy? Because it's getting worse.
I wish I knew all the answers to that. I think, and obviously this is my opinion,
Sure.
is that I think a lot is unknown. And I think a lot of people don't understand homeopathy. They haven't seen homeopathy work. And a lot because it can't be explained within the realms of what we understand as our medical paradigm, the general allopathic paradigm, that it becomes very difficult to comprehend. And I think that's possibly why.
But it's our job to do that, I think. So I'm on a mission. I've looked at Benevist's work and I've had holes blown into that. And now there's possibly other areas of science that's looking at how it's possible for water to retain memory, which is the principle actually of homeopathy, isn't it?
Well, it's one of the ways we use to explain how the medication works, and I think that's often where homeopathies come under attack, is that how actually can this work if it's so dilute?
Yes.
And very recently there's been some very interesting scientific papers that have been published, and about 2 years ago we had the privilege of Dr. Rajendran come to speak to the Homeopathic Congress that we held in Totten, and he presented to us his research on nanomedicine, and what he was doing is taking a specific and very special form of camera that could actually identify what was in very highly diluted homeopathic remedies. And all of a sudden now we can say, well, this is what's in it, and this is what it looks like under this microscope, and under taking photos of it. So there's not nothing there.
Yes.
Something's there.
Yes.
And obviously, there is more and more research going into what's in the remedy and how does the remedy exactly work. And so that will be the next step. But the new research is very promising and very exciting.
It is exciting, isn't it? Is he talking about infoceuticals, like the capturing the information in the remedy, in a diluted remedy? So particles. When you're saying nanoparticles, you're actually talking about substance that doesn't exist, that is actually there, that can be photographed, like Korean photography.
Yes, like minute particles. And each remedy has a different, obviously a different outcome, or how it looks differently under each photograph, and they can then be identified.
That's amazing.
It is.
Wow.
With homeopathy, a lot of people say the proof is in the pudding. And don't give homeopathy a bad rap if you haven't tried it necessarily. But at the same time, make sure that you seek a registered practitioner. So when you are attempting to use homeopathy, that you, number one, use a homeopathic practitioner who is qualified and registered with the relevant councils in whichever country you're from. But in South Africa, it's the Allied Health Professions Council, and give it a real try. Instead of just saying, oh, it's a placebo effect.
Sure.
Because when you start treating tiny babies or you treat animals and you see a marked difference and quickly, whether it's something like an otitis or a tonsillitis or a diarrhea or an ear infection
or a croup attack,
these chronic, or whether it's chronic or these acute illnesses, and how quickly they can be resolved, I think you'll start asking questions.
Sure. Yeah. I would like to just refer to Dr. Alex Niven and his work with homeopathy, and specifically there was an article he wrote in Natural Medicine magazine years ago when he treated a tumor on a horse's face that just fell off. How would a horse know that it wasn't actually a medicine but a placebo?
I don't have an answer for you.
That's it. As you say, it's the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Lovely having you back.
Thank you for having me.